One accident, one secret, one family forever changed. This is the story of regretting you. Morgan is a hard-working mother who built her life around responsibility, always protecting her family, always fearing mistakes. Clara is a high school student who dreams of independence. She is bold, emotional, and tired of living under strict rules. Jonah is a dependable man who values loyalty above everything. Calm, patient, and kind. Morgan remembers her teenage years when she became pregnant with Clara at a young age. Her dreams of college and independence ended when she chose to keep the baby and marry Chris. She loves her daughter deeply, but quietly regrets losing her youthful dreams. Now a teenager, Clara feels suffocated by her mother's strict rules. She wants independence and resents Morgan's constant worry and control. Clara begins pulling away emotionally from her mother. Clara gets into trouble at school, and Morgan is called in. Morgan feels embarrassed and frustrated, while Clara feels misunderstood. Their relationship becomes more tense and distant. Morgan receives devastating news. Her husband Chris dies in a car accident. The shock leaves her numb, confused, and emotionally shattered. Clara also struggles to process the sudden loss of her father. While dealing with Chris's death, Morgan discovers texts revealing he had been having an affair. Even worse, the affair was with her own sister Jenny. Morgan feels betrayed, humiliated, and heartbroken. Morgan learns Jenny died in the same accident as Chris. Her grief becomes complicated. She mourns her sister while feeling furious at her betrayal. She feels alone and unable to share her pain. Morgan decides not to tell Clara about the affair. She wants to protect her daughter from emotional damage. But this secret begins to create emotional distance between them. Morgan begins interacting more with Jonah, Chris's best friend. Jonah supports her through grief and offers comfort without judgment. Their friendship slowly becomes emotionally meaningful. Clara grows close to Miller, a boy who shows her kindness and attention. She feels understood by him in ways she doesn't feel at home. Their relationship begins to turn romantic. Morgan becomes stricter with Clara after Chris's death. Clara feels controlled and misunderstood. Arguments between them become frequent and emotionally intense. Morgan and Jonah spend more time together, sharing grief and secrets. Morgan feels guilty about developing feelings for him so soon after Chris's death. Still, she begins to trust him deeply. Clara starts hiding things from Morgan and sneaking around to meet Miller. She believes her mother is unfair and overprotective. The emotional gap between them widens. Clara eventually learns the truth about her father's affair with Jenny. She feels betrayed and confused, unsure how to handle the truth. Her anger toward her mother increases because she feels lied to. Clara makes impulsive decisions while emotionally overwhelmed. She ignores her mother's warnings and continues seeing Miller secretly. Her behavior becomes more reckless. Morgan reflects on her past sacrifices and regrets about giving up her dreams. She wonders if her strict parenting comes from fear rather than love. She begins to question her choices as a mother. Morgan and Clara have a major argument that deeply hurts both of them. They say things they regret, pushing their relationship to its lowest point. Both feel misunderstood and emotionally alone. Jonah encourages Morgan to forgive herself and rebuild her life. He helps her realize that she deserves happiness, not just responsibility. Morgan slowly opens herself to love again. Clara realizes that her actions have serious consequences. She begins to understand her mother's fears and sacrifices. Her anger slowly turns into empathy. Morgan and Clara finally talk honestly about their pain, secrets, and regrets. They acknowledge misunderstandings and emotional wounds. Their relationship begins to heal. Morgan accepts her past regrets and looks toward the future. Clara grows emotionally stronger and closer to her mother. The story ends with healing, forgiveness, and hope for a better future.